my god. Oh my god. I should not have ran through there. Give me that horse. I need the horse. Hell out of my way. Oh, that was sick. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was lucky. Oh, that's super cool. Oh, shit. Sorry. Assassin's Creed Mirage may just be that, an actual mirage. Because the game, despite it being a return to roots, doesn't really do a whole lot to differentiate itself from what has come before. But that still doesn't stop it from being a pretty fun time, and I can't deny that running around the city as an assassin with just a pretty simple tool set and a very straightforward setting, story, and approach to combat, and just all of it. It feels very pared down and fun to play. I'm just enjoying being immersed in this city, and it didn't really sink in until, probably about 20 minutes ago. I've had a few hours to play with Assassin's Creed Mirage, and I want to discuss my thoughts, give you my first impressions of the game. They really nail this setting. There's a lot of detail in the city. The way the characters interact are very lifelike. What I also appreciate about the crowds in this is that they make much more of an effort to call you out in front of guards, making your presence much harder to conceal. It just adds more to the realism. They also kind of freak out a lot more when fights are happening or anything like that. Anybody dies, everybody takes off. So there's a lot of realism to the crowds that are nice little tweaks that I appreciated seeing. Now, what I don't really care for, and this is maybe a nitpick, but the run animation, I feel like I'm going at half speed, and it just kind of kills the momentum of any chase. But it's more of a nitpick than anything, something I can overlook. I gotta say, what I love about any modern day Ubisoft game is the water effects. They know how to pull off just water in these games, and it just looks so damn good. I've played some of the story. We are now like a full-blown assassin. We're initiated into the Brotherhood, and so we've been let loose in the city of Baghdad to complete missions and hunt down targets. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, that's super cool. Oh shit. Sorry. Oh my god. I just wanted to try that out. I'm really appreciating the changes that have been made to the game to return it to that feel of the very first Assassin's Creed. This is very much an homage to that game, for better and worse, as I don't think this has shown much in the way of innovation or improvements to the formula. It's more of like a fun little offshoot, a very expanded DLC, which they still couldn't even justify with a full price tag. So, it does make the blow to your wallet a little bit easier to tolerate, but nonetheless, it's still, I think, disappointing in that sense. I do see just a pared down version of Valhalla. It does have a ton of that DNA. It's a nice change of pace to return to the more animation-based combat. I really like just being able to pull off executions. You feel like just a badass, and that's kind of the fun of these games. That's the power fantasy. That was something I missed about the last couple games, was that feeling of just tearing ass through a city because you're such a highly trained warrior, As lame as it sounds, it's fun. Now, the game does look pretty damn good at times. What I love about this most recent trilogy is how visually impressive they can be, but that's mostly at a distance. The second you hold any of the textures up to high scrutiny, they become very obviously not built for up-close viewing, which is kind of a shame just considering we're in PS5 era, and you got games like Baldur's Gate, which was significantly less funding than this, I imagine, that are just raising the bar in terms of how high quality you can get with your presentation. It's another, maybe seemingly a nitpick, but it's hard not to nitpick with a game like this because there's nothing else to really grasp onto other than reformulated ideas that have been present and done better in previous games. It's hard to not compare this to what came before. But I'm also trying to just kind of reframe the way I'm looking at this game. So I do try to tailor the criticism to some degree, but I can't help but call some of these things out, just considering it's Ubisoft and I don't really trust what they put out. It's consistent, yet always kind of a wild card, because sometimes they could put out a pretty awesome game, and other times their games are a total crapshoot. So I don't really understand where the bar of quality lies. But let's get back to the Assassin's Creed conversation, because like I said, it's starting to grow on me. I am enjoying the game as I play through it. Some of these some of these executions are pretty gnarly. Combat is simple, straightforward. Oh, that was sick. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit, that was lucky. Major complaint number 1, the guards. They give up like immediately. You could run around the corner and they're done. They just don't even bother. Like, come on. I want some intensity with these chases. Maybe it makes the fact that the run animation feels so slow easier, pill to swallow, I guess. But just like, look how good this looks. When you really slow down and admire the game at a distance, it does look good. And it's nice to play an Assassin's Creed that feels like Assassin's Creed again, despite it not being exactly what I was hoping for. Notoriety system is another thing I really am liking. The fact that it plays a heavier role, what I also feel like is much more difficult to get rid of. The game really does force you to stay in the shadows. It forces you to really think about where you're positioning yourself, when to attack. It's not as haphazard as Valhalla or any of the last trilogy. And I even felt like Origins had a decent amount of stealth elements, even though it was definitely not focused in that department. I think Odyssey was when the series really took that big leap into the current formula. So Assassin's Creed codename Red, the feudal Japan one, is going to be the last game developed on this engine, so I'm interested to see where they go from there. So I think the game after that will be the real pivot that the series is going to need to get back to basics. At least hopefully. I really hope they change it up. I would love if they could kind of extract the best elements from Unity and apply them to like a really high budget, high quality Assassin's Creed experience with a memorable story and character, which is another thing I feel like we're just lacking. I feel like Origins had a pretty solid story. I liked how that game played out. The whole angle with Bayek avenging his son in a way, kind of coming to peace with that, was entertaining to watch, and I liked when the game got a little more darker than you usually see for the series. So it was nice to see that it was a change of pace. That was also when the formula changed. So that game had a lot resting on his shoulders, and I think it paid off for the most part. Then we get to Odyssey, where they fully leaned in that formula and went a little overboard with the microtransactions and the overall world size. It just felt a little out of control. It was pretty disappointing because I really enjoyed that game. At a certain point, I checked out, and that's exactly what happened with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Is I checked out at the like 45-hour mark because I just couldn't stand to play the same gameplay loop again. It's the same thing over and over. The whole shtick of raiding villages, I think, is pretty played out by like the 50th time you've done it. So the AI is not too terrible, nothing to like write about, but I do enjoy the smarter approaches that they've taken with it, but there's nothing like too groundbreaking yet. Again, this does still feel like a bit of a underwhelming experience, but it's growing on. I'm more trying to battle with this feeling of just reframing what I expected the game to be and just looking at it through maybe the lens that I should have been the whole time. I'm not sure. Let's find a mission to play here and progress the story a little bit more. I think I got a hood or something. I'm excited to like play around with the gear in this game. I always love just outfitting my assassin. Pretty cool outfit. I'll rock that one. I missed the customization that was present in AC Unity. That was just so much more in-depth. I missed that. I wish they pursued that approach. There's just a lot in Assassin's Creed Unity that I felt like they should have taken further, and I feel like the reaction totally scared Ubisoft from ever trying to attempt that again. How many times do these publishers have to make the headlines before they realize that if you just allow your teams the time and resources necessary to properly produce the game that you want, it'll pay off. It becomes a successful product. Payday 3, God, man, it's so frustrating. And so that's where I see with this game, it's like, okay, they probably felt like they needed a buffer between this and the next game coming out next year. This was going to be a DLC. They saw the responses to Valhalla Online and decided, hey, let's give this one a little bit more of a budget. See if they really want to return. Codename Red is on this engine, so who knows how that's going to play. Ultimately, I'm excited to see where they go with the next Assassin's Creed. I'm inclined to be excited just for the fact that they're finally going to feudal Japan, which is something I never thought I would see. Hopefully, it turns out to be pretty decent, but I'm not too confident that Ghost of Tsushima still won't be a really heavy contender, because that game kicks ass and also really, I don't know, wouldn't exist if it weren't for Assassin's Creed. So in a way, it owes what it is to Assassin's Creed. Okay, how the hell do I kill this? Oh, right in the leg. son. I like how I killed him with one little knife to the leg. Like, hey, don't mess with me. I'm liking this outfit. It's pretty slick. I always like to see what loading screens they decide to give us with each entry. It's just a nice little touch. Okay, let's talk to our friends here. See what the dealio is, man. Who do we got to kill this time? I'm so glad they got rid of the dialogue options. That was something that kind of drove me insane with the last game. I felt like Eivor just had no personality. It just was a very hard character for me to get into, and this very stilted animations just doesn't sell the dialogue at all. And sadly, those animations have kind of made their way to this game as well. I've never been a fan of how Ubisoft animates their Assassin's Creed games. I don't know what it is, but they've always had these characteristics about it that just kind of suck me out of the experience just a touch. It's just something that stands out to me. So there's just a lot of inconsistency in terms of presentation, and I know they're trying to pull off a lot here, but again, you got games like Baldur's Gate just showing you up in all departments, and so it doesn't really detract from the game as a whole for me. It is not worth pointing out, I think, just considering that this is coming from a multi-billion-dollar corporation like Ubisoft. Things I just think are worth pointing out, you know? Okay, we gotta go to the Dyeing Factory. That doesn't sound like a very nice place. All right, we are out on the streets. It is a late night, Friday night. We're going out in the town with the boys. I gotta run an errand. Be back before supper. Okay, let's take this guy out. This is like the first Assassin's Creed I've played in a while where I've thought, damn, that's a good looking animation. I think this game series is really geared for like incredible animation work, and I just felt like the last couple entries again didn't take advantage of that. There's just a lot of really cool stuff that was present again in Unity. Let's remove some wanted posters. Take that down. Get that out of here. Oh my god, I should not have ran through there. Sorry. So this is what it's like to get into a chase. Your character runs as a snail's pace. Sometimes the game decides you shouldn't be running anymore, and it just decides to stop your character's sprint. Weird little quirks like that, or sometimes it'll force me to match another character's speed. So we still got cool animations for like leaping over things. You got this pretty sweet slide animation into a crouch. I think with this game they had a very good opportunity to introduce some cool parkour mechanics. Just would heighten the experience a little bit more. I feel like a lot of fans are kidding themselves with what this game is supposed to be doing. Hyping up the fact that you can click X on a pole and vault across a gap. That's being pitched as a new gameplay mechanic, and I'm sorry, that stuff doesn't wow me. I don't see that as an improvement. I just see it as a nice little touch. Being able to rip down a little shelf and take out your enemies that way is just another cool little addition. It's not a gameplay mechanic. It's not something that changes it from the last one. It's just a touch. I don't see that as worthwhile innovation, and I think it's a lazy way to pitch a game. I think that's what Ubisoft has relied on a lot with their games. So this is what I mean with the game having really stilted animations and cutscenes, a quirk of Assassin's Creed games that have just been always present. I have to hold it up to some scrutiny because there's games like Cyberpunk that are just knocking brand new games like Starfield out of the park, and it just kind of really shows the age of some of these series and the fact that like these developers can't always get away with this stuff as easily as they used to. People are more aware of the product that they're buying, especially considering that you're raising it to a full $70. I didn't think that would actually become a thing, but it did, and there's still CEOs out there recommending that we raise the prices even more. Games are just too cheap these days. Overall, I don't hate the game, and I'm finding enjoyment in it, and I'm learning to love it for what it is, but it's definitely something that I just have to poke holes in. I can't help it with this, especially being what it is. I'm trying to look at it through a new lens. Oh shoot. Oh no. I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy. No. See, so all the people are just freaking out. There sounds like so much more of a commotion, you know? God, when was the last time I ever said commotion? So, yeah, the running, I feel like, could use a bit more of a sense of urgency. The game just feels very slow. Very slow move. Damn, this still does look pretty dang good, if I do say so myself. And it does feel good to get back to just running around a city. You know, similar to Spider-Man from 2018, I enjoy just getting around the city. I'd rather traverse the city than fast travel, and I think that's a good sign. Being able to get around is always a plus when it's enjoyable. This is a really good looking city. It feels really dense. Okay, I think we got them all. Let's get some Oh, we got two guys right here. Damn it. I wish I had that ability to do a double assassination. Being able to sprint while crouched is a nice little tweak. I do feel much more in control of my character this time around, which is a nice little touch. What? No. What the hell? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I gotta escape. Give me that horse. I need the horse. The hell out of my way. That was close. See what I mean? The cars just give up like right away. You know, Assassin's Creed was one of my first like third person open world games I ever owned, and I remember Assassin's Creed 2 very fondly. I think I was through the roof excited for Assassin's Creed 3. I have a lot of fond memories, but I would love to know what yours are down in the comments below. What is your favorite Assassin's Creed? What's your first Assassin's Creed? What introduced you to the series? Would love to know where you got your starting point, because there's a lot to love about the series, and there's a lot to hate. There's a lot of great starting points as well. Give me the prisoner and nobody gets hurt. Damn it! So the combat is definitely not recommended in this game. I think it's simple on purpose. They're like, all right, fine. You didn't like that last combat system? Here, you get no buttons to use. Okay, how do we get in here this time? And it's just a Mirage. It's just like the TV ad. That's how the commercial ends. And it's just a Mirage. Terrible. Oh, we got a point of interest real quick. Don't you just want to explore all of it? I really like what they did with this. This is cool. So yeah, so far, I'm pretty mixed on this game. I'm leaning towards liking it. It's something I'm enjoying. I don't hate the experience, but it's certainly not what it could be. And other than that, I think this is a fine game, especially considering the price point is a little cheaper. I think if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, I think you'll at least be entertained by this end so far, at least. I can't give the full rundown on it as a very early in the game, but so far it is opening pretty well. And so if this is something that you're thinking about picking up, I would say it leaves a pretty solid first impression, but maybe stay tuned to see if the game does get any better or if it kind of remains stagnant, which is a critique that I have heard. We're going to see if that really is the case or if that was something that maybe I don't agree with. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for tuning in. I will have my full thoughts in a later video that I am going to be working on, so stay tuned for that. I'm not too sure when the timeline on it is. Stay tuned for that. Make sure you check out my last couple videos. Had a fun time making those, and as always, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this game, and again, what was your favorite or first Assassin's Creed game? I'd love to know in the comments down below, and as always, I will talk to you next time. Thank you.